Ονομάζεται Νικόλ Παπαμιχαήλ, κατάγεται από την Κάλυμνο και θεωρείται από τις πιο έμπειρες και σκληρές γυναίκες του NYPD, έχοντας αναλάβει επικίνδυνες αποστολές και εσχάτως στη διοίκηση του απαιτητικού 17ου Αστυνομικού Τμήματος της Νέας Υόρκης. Η κυρία Papamichael, ή Papamichael όπως είναι γνωστή, μας δέχτηκε στο γραφείο της και ξεδίπλωσε σημαντικά στοιχεία από τη ζωή και την καριέρα της.
Από πού είναι οι γονείς σας στην Ελλάδα, που έχετε καταγωγή?
Ο πατέρας μου Κάλυμνο και η μητέρα μου Χανιά, Κρήτη.
Και επισκέπτεστε στην Ελλάδα?
Πρώτη φορά που πήγα, τώρα είναι 2 χρόνια που πήγα, πρώτη φορά.
Δεν είχατε πάει σαν παιδί?
No.
Ξέρετε ελληνικά όμως?
Αφού οι γονείς μου δεν μιλάνε αμερικάνικα. Πώς το λένε, they met on the boat coming here.
Ήταν λοιπόν αυτή η ιστορία, όταν έρχονταν
στην Αμερική ήταν στο ίδιο καράβι, έτσι, that's how they met on the boat.
Το μακρινό 1997 ήθελε να γίνει νοσοκόμα, όμως παράτησε τις σπουδές της γιατί δήλωνε πως δεν το άντεχε. Πώς όμως μια γυναίκα που λυγίζει ως νοσοκόμα επιλέγει να γίνει αστυνομικός?
When I went, it was the height of the AIDS epidemic, so I was working in the AIDS ward. Και κάθε μέρα κάποιος πέθανε, κάθε μέρα κάποιος είναι άρρωστος. Δεν μπορούσα να το βλέπω κάθε μέρα το ίδιο. As a cop δεν το βλέπεις κάθε μέρα. Κάθε μέρα είναι κάτι άλλο. So, δεν είναι το ίδιο. It's more personal as a nurse. My father was happy. My mother not happy at all. My mother said that a good Greek girl gets married and has kids and is a housewife. She doesn't go out and be a cop. So my mother wasn't happy.
So she was a traditional Greek mother?
She still is, yes. She's still waiting for me to get married. Με τηλεφωνάει κάθε βράδυ, κάθε μέρα, πρώτο να πάω να κοιμηθώ.
Μετά την αποφοίτησή της από την Αστυνομική Ακαδημία, εντάσσεται στο δυναμικό της αστυνομίας και πολύ γρήγορα μπαίνει στα βαθιά. Στη σχετικά πιο άγρια Νέα Υόρκη εκείνης της εποχής, η Νικόλ Παπαμιχαήλ γίνεται μυστική αστυνομικός και παριστάνει την ιερόδουλη προκειμένου να εξαρθρώσει κυκλώματα πορνείας.
I started off out of the academy. I went to the 6th precinct, which is here in the village. I was a foot cop for 2 years. I pretty much just walked the beat, mostly around Washington Square Park area. After 2 years, I went to Vice, where I was there for 5 years, and I got a detective shield out of it. I did a lot of undercover work for prostitution. We did a lot of human trafficking, where we went into houses of prostitution, also to see if women were being held against their will and stuff like that. But I also did a lot of undercover work as a prostitute back then. But we also did gambling. We would go into clubs and make sure they had all their licenses and stuff like that. But I did that for 5 years.
Όπως αναφέρει, όσο επικίνδυνες και αν ήταν οι συνθήκες, το ενδιαφέρον αλλά και η εκπαίδευση που είχε την έκαναν να μην φοβηθεί στιγμή.
It was different because every day was different. But I would go in. We had a couple high-profile cases like escort services, and I would go in looking for a job, and I would either get hired or whatever, and that's how we would identify who was running the thing, and that's how we would take a lot of these escort services down. And I would also do street walking too, on the street. But back then in the 90s, there was actually down on 42nd Street in Lower Manhattan and in Queens, you actually had prostitution in the street, which you don't see today. You always go by your gut. If something tells you something's not right, then don't do it. You always, I mean, we don't just go out and do it. We get training. There's training that you do before. They don't just send you out there. But if something doesn't feel right or something doesn't look right, then retreat. That's because you don't know what you're getting into sometimes, and you don't know what's going to happen. But usually, if something inside you tells you there's something not right or something doesn't feel good, then you would go and tell you. We work as a team. You tell your team leader. You tell, I don't feel right about this, and then you just back off. You know, but always go by what you feel inside. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not going to be right.
Το 17ο Αστυνομικό Τμήμα περιλαμβάνει μια περιοχή η οποία περικλεί μεταξύ άλλων τα Ηνωμένα Έθνη και τα σημεία που καταλύουν οι διεθνείς αποστολές. Βρίσκεται πολύ κοντά στο κέντρο και πολλές φορές η κυρία Παπαμιχαήλ συμμετέχει στο συντονισμό των αστυνομικών σε εκδηλώσεις όπως αυτή της πρωτοχρονιάς στην Times Square.
I pretty much run this precinct. This is the 17th. We are considered Midtown East. We cover from 30th Street to 59th Street, from the FDR to Lexington. We have the UN, the United Nations in our precinct, and we have almost every mission and consulate for most countries here in this precinct as well. So very political, so to speak, very high profile, very sensitive. As you go up the ranks, you get more and more, you go to sergeant and you kind of learn because you just have the cops under you. And that teaches you how to be a supervisor. And then after, as you go higher, it gets easier, although your responsibility gets more. You just have more people under you, but as the years go by, you're more comfortable being a supervisor, and you're more comfortable making a decision, which is the big, especially at my rank or being a commanding officer, I'm the one making the decision here. So if I make a right decision and everything goes good, it's good. I can make a wrong decision, but it's my fault, but I'll take the responsibility, but it's my, I have that privilege, which is great, to make a decision. I'm at that point now. When you're a new cop, people look at you, especially as a female, I can't say you have to prove yourself, but you have to carry yourself in a way where you're going to get the respect from your fellow counterparts. Once you get that respect, it's not challenging at all, and the higher you go, people respect you more. And I don't have, as a higher, it doesn't bother me at all. You need a sense of humor on this job, and you need a thick skin, but I never had a negative experience as being a female on this job, never. Sometimes when you go out there, people, the criminals don't look at you the same, but as the job itself, I never had an issue.
Tell me about your relatives in Greece. What do they ask you? What do they believe about that? What do they tell you?
The first, did I ever shoot someone, is what they ask. But no, I never took out my gun, thank God. What's it like? What's it like to be a female on the job is a big question, because it's a predominantly male-oriented job, or a man's world, so to speak. But it hasn't affected me at all as far as being a female. I think we have an advantage, but and what did I see? What have I seen? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? But my mother brags now. She wasn't happy before, but now she brags.
Κατά τη θητεία της, η Νικόλ Παπαμιχαήλ υπηρέτησε την αστυνομία σε δύο κομβικά όσο και δύσκολα γεγονότα: την τρομοκρατική επίθεση της 11ης Σεπτεμβρίου και τον Τυφώνα Σάντυ.
9/11, we experienced, that was very tough on all of us. It was almost surreal when we were working actually it was election day that day, so we were working the elections, and then when we heard it happen, we didn't believe it, and then they moved us down to the hospitals waiting the first day over here at Bellevue, and we were all waiting for people to come in who were injured, and I remember doctors coming from everywhere, and they said, "Where's everybody?" And they said, "If they're not here, they're not coming, because so many people died." And so we were assigned there every day it happened September till probably around Christmas time, 15 hours a day, 16. The smell on your clothes, the dust, you would have to throw out your pants every other day, your shoes would have to throw out because they had mud and everything on. It was just very surreal, very long hours. We were lucky if we slept 3 hours a day for 3 or 4 months. Because we would go, I lived close by, so some people just never went home and just slept in the precinct.
Πάντως η ίδια δηλώνει ότι οι κάτοικοι της Νέας Υόρκης έχουν αλλάξει μετά την 11η Σεπτεμβρίου, έχουν γίνει πιο καχύποπτοι και συνεργάζονται ευκολότερα με τις αρχές.
Now you look at things differently, you look at not people, but you look at situations differently. You might walk by a suitcase and not think of anything before that. Now you walk by a suitcase and come to your mind, like, hey, maybe this is a bomb. It just changed the way you view a lot of things, how you answer jobs, how do you know, something might come over, like I said, a suspicious package, where before 9/11 now we take it more seriously. Some people are in their own world with their cell phone buried in their cell phone, but for the most part, I think we get a lot of calls if people see things, and a lot of tips we get in help us solve crimes from just everyday people that come in because they're alert and because they see things. But I think New Yorkers more so than anybody are alert to everything that's going on.
Τι γίνεται όμως όταν ο αστυνομικός έρχεται αντιμέτωπος με τις συνέπειες της μητέρας φύσης?
We had Hurricane Sandy. They always said, all right, it's going to be a crazy storm, but no one, I don't think, expected what happened. At the time, I was the executive officer of the first precinct. So we had 2 people die from, one guy worked in a parking garage and he was calling 911. We couldn't get to him. He called 911 6 times and he couldn't make it. And then another guy who got sucked in from but we saw water coming off the West Side Highway, 10 blocks up. And we were just watching it come up. Nothing could prepare us for that. I don't think. We lost one of my officers who worked in my precinct in Staten Island. His house got flooded and he was in the attic and he was trying to get his mother, but his mother was already up there, he didn't realize, and he got electrocuted in his own home. It's frustrating because you couldn't help. Like the one guy who called 911, I cried because you can hear him, and we tried to go, we just couldn't get him. We just could not get him. But it's frustrating because you want to help, you want to do, but it was beyond the, you know, it's God's calling, I don't know, but we can't fight Mother Nature sometimes.
Μετά από μια μακρόχρονη και γεμάτη θητεία στην αστυνομία, πώς φαντάζεστε Ελληνοαμερικανίδα αξιωματικός την επόμενη μέρα της μακριά από το σώμα?
If I stay here for 5 years, I'm okay. I'll be happy. What do I expect? I don't know. Every day's different. Every day's normally you go on from this precinct to another precinct with more responsibilities, a bigger precinct, so to speak, and then you move on from there. And but no one knows. But it's okay. Whatever happens, wherever they put me, I'll be okay.
What are your plans for the future after NYPD?
Travel. I want to travel. I don't know if I want to work anymore. I've worked since I was 12, so I want to get a dog. I want to get a backyard, and I want to travel. That's what I want to do.
Πώς σας φάνηκε η Ελλάδα? How was your Greek experience?
It was great. The only thing is I was there for almost a month. I went to Rhodos, I went to Kάλυμνο, I went to Kassos, Santorini, Mykonos, and Κρήτη for one day. I did too much, and I love the islands. I love Kάλυμνο, I love Rhodos, and I love Kassos. I want to go back and just do like 2 weeks straight instead of too much traveling, but it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Η Νικόλ Παπαμιχαήλ δεν είναι η μόνη Ελληνοαμερικανίδα στο NYPD, καθώς υπάρχει οργανωμένο σωματείο για τους Ελληνοορθόδοξους αστυνομικούς.
There are a lot of Greeks on this job. We have the St. Paul Society, which is our Greek Orthodox community within the NYPD. We have several hundred members join. We also march in the parade every year. We do outings every year, and every year it's growing. This is a great job, great opportunities, great ways to expand. So come on, join. We could use more Greeks on this job.
Times have changed since 1997.
Yes.
What do you think about the new police officers? Do you think that they have a different situation to face right now?
I think they have totally different situation. When I came on, we still had gangs, drugs, violence. Our murder rate was still very high. Our crime rate was very high. So we were more focused on solving, bringing the crime down. I said today the crime is down lower. But I think they're more concerned. We have more now with the cyber crimes, not computer crimes, but it's all We still have crime, but it's more technology crimes, credit card fraud, scamming. So they have a bigger challenge to face in fighting crime than we did. The one thing about this job is we have what they say is the tickets to the best show on earth. We see everything, from 4th of July to New Year's Eve to we live history here in New York City. We have New Year's Eve, we have Thanksgiving Day parade every day. People come from all over the world to come and see it. We see it every day.